What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Rant. This is episode 22, and we are going to do a follow-up to our Rebirth episode that we put out like a month or two ago? I forget now. Point is, Rebirth came out about 5 days ago, I think it was. Wait, am I adding right? Yeah, 5. God, I'm tired. So, Rebirth came out. We've read the 80-page little starter book that's supposed to kick off everything. Kind of left some odd questions in my head. How about you, Josh? Did it leave questions for you?
A few.
Josh is always a man of few words. It's hard to pry out the knowledge, but it's there. He's very deep. Nothing? Really? You got nothing? Damn it.
I don't know.
I'm like the only one on screen here today. This is awkward. All right, well, let's just get into it. Discuss a little bit of what the Rebirth book was about. Anybody listening, you're being warned right now. This is probably going to be a lot of spoiler action going on in this episode. So, if you want to watch it after you've read the book, be my guest to close the video and come back later. There is a watch later button if you're using the Android YouTube app. So, all right. Do you want me to fill them in on the book, Josh, or would you like to put some words in now?
Go right ahead.
All right, well, the gist of the Rebirth book is essentially this. DC was looking for a good way to reset the timeline to just before the New 52 series started back in, I think it was about like April, I think it was, of 2011 when they started it, something like that. And, of course, the easiest way to do that was to do some stuff with the Speed Force from the Flash comics. Because let's face it, it's an easy, malleable story plot tool. So, essentially, the book is centered around the narration of Wally West, who was the Flash before the New 52 series started. And he's apparently been bouncing around inside the Speed Force with the only intact memories of the timeline before some sort of event happened that changed everything. So the whole book is basically him just looking to try and find a connection to anybody, because apparently you only need to be remembered and then you can pop out of the Speed Force like, oh hey, I'm back from my vacation kind of thing, which is weird. It seems weird to me. Does it seem weird to you that it's that easy?
Yeah, a little bit. Although it might be a challenge if people don't remember you.
Well, yeah, it would be a challenge from that point, but it I don't know, that feels too easy to me. Like, oh yeah, I remember that Wally West guy. Boom, and you're in existence. You know what I mean? It's like we're talking some weird voodoo manifestation kind of shit here, man. So yeah, the whole book is literally Wally West bouncing to different areas and different people looking for a connection. He even tries Bruce Wayne at the beginning, which I think that would have actually been a little bit more fun than latching on to Barry Allen, because that was the expected choice, in my opinion. But that's the whole gist of it. I'm not going to fill in the details, because if you're really that curious, you can go buy the damn book. It's like $3. It's not a big deal. So, essentially, from my perspective, DC is kind of like looking to just wipe the slate clean and go back to what I guess seems like the last time all their books were really wildly popular, I guess. I mean, what's your view on this, Josh? Do you think this is kind of a Hail Mary moment, or does it seem like a logical choice?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn because I really enjoyed the New 52, but I wouldn't mind going back to pre-New 52 times, but I don't know if it's probably I'm gonna agree with you. It is a Hail Mary, because I think a lot of their sales started to drop off when they try to do crazy things with their characters, like Jim Gordon as Batman and Superman losing his powers and whatever else was happening in the universe at the time. And yeah, I think they're like, hey, we just kind of got to reset here. Even though I really enjoyed a lot of the storylines in the New 52, it's going to be kind of interesting to go back and then rewrite history, I guess.
Yeah, that is what they're essentially pointing towards with the way the story plays out in that book. I don't know. I'm with you on that one. I was very much enjoying a lot of the new 52 storylines that they had been doing. They were, they were fresh. They were a little bit changed up, as far as like how some of the classic characters were being utilized. Like Barry Allen, to me, as the Flash in the new 52, did not sync up to the Barry Allen I remember from the Flash comics when I was like 10 years old and I first got into them. This was a much cooler Barry Allen, in my opinion. I was enjoying the books a lot more. I don't know what to think about this. I really don't. Other than the Hail Mary thing, I'm not sure how I feel about what they're gonna do with the stories from now on. There was a good chunk of time in my life where I wasn't reading comics regularly. Like, I had a whole lot of other things I was doing then. That was like my college years, I didn't have a ton of money to go play, pick up books and all that stuff, so I ended up buying a lot of video games because you can get your money out of those more often than not.
Right.
So I didn't read the ending section of like the Flash or any of the other DC lines that were running before the new 52. Like, I was aware that it happened, but I have no idea what was going on then. So at the moment, I'm a little edgy because I don't know what they're gonna do with the books, and the fact that they pulled Wally West in, like an even younger Wally West, is a little weird to me because like in the Flash comics, Wally West stopped being Kid Flash. Like, I think that was like 98 or something like that, and then he was the Flash from then until the new 52 stuff. I mean, there was literally, I think, like 400 books or something in that run. It's not a small run. He was the Flash for a long damn time. So it even seems like they're gonna remove a chunk of the previous timeline and go back to, something even earlier. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, I know they're continuing a few of the books that are currently running, like Harley Quinn. Clearly everybody has latched on to that book. I mean, I enjoy it myself, but I think it's like, to DC, it's one of their cash cow kind of lines, so they're continuing that one and a few others. I forget which, but...
Well, they're still renumbering. They're starting back at 1, but it's going to be the same creative teams. Same thing with Deathstroke. And I'm not sure who else. But they are starting back at square one. Well, with the Teen Titans, too.
Right. Well, but
I
they
find it
may be
weird that
starting
they're
to count over,
renumbering.
but it's still in the same universe and timeline, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I was meaning.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I would think so.
I'm pretty sure there is. It's like 5 or 6 books that they, maybe even 10, something like that they are keeping running. They're just starting the counter over on them. They're supposed to, I think, be in the same universe and all. Because I mean, let's face it, most of those, if you couldn't even do what you're doing with them in the new 52 unless you kept that universe. You know what I mean? Like, if you went back to the old stuff, like Harley Quinn still would not be her own character. She'd be a Batman sub-boss character, Like, you couldn't continue the line and keep the old timeline. You have to do the new timeline to have the story make sense at all.
Yeah.
So we honestly don't know what to make of it, to be honest. I will say this. I feel a little bit better about this than I did the Convergence thing a year ago, which, isn't that just a little bit funny on the 1-year anniversary of the Convergence? They're like, hey, we need to fix some shit.
Yeah.
Like, I wish they'd come to that conclusion last year instead of doing the Convergence thing. We could have been down the line 1 year and know if this was going to work out. Hindsight's a bitch, isn't it?
They had to get to 52.
Yeah. Ay. So.
Well, what do you think? What do you think was better, the Marvel redo, or do you think DC's redo is going to be better?
At this, I used to be more of a Marvel fan than DC, and all of the weird shakeups that Marvel has been doing has kind of just been ruining a lot of those stories for me.
I think they're rebooting it again after Civil War 2.
Yeah,
I think they're doing that Marvel now.
Something. I don't know. I can't keep track anymore. I'm tired of reboots and remakes and, oh shit, we forgot about this, so let's start this one over. I'm starting to gravitate a bit more towards DC books because they seem a little bit more consistent, and B, away from mainstream comic publishers in general. I find myself latching on to more independent publishers as of late because the runs of the books they're doing may not be tremendously long, but at least they're consistent and it's a full story arc. You know, as opposed to this weird shit where it's like, we'll write like 6 books and then we'll redesign the story arc for that character, even though we're still keeping them. And it's like Spider-Gwen. When it first showed up about a year ago, I was interested. I was like, all right, this is a drastic shift in perspective in that. Let's see what happens. And the first 6 issues, which is all they made in that first run, and then literally they started over on some new shit. I was like, all right, this isn't bad, but as long as they stay in this story arc and keep building on it, they can get something good out of it. Well, they kind of really didn't do that. They sort of, when they got to 6, they kind of stopped and started over again, and like the world is intact, but they're not making any progress. It feels like stories that would have occurred over like a weekend, you know, not anything substantial. Right. You know what I mean? Like the two Spider books that I'm still enjoying that are making progress are Silk and Spider-Woman. All the others feel awkward to me. And unfortunately the Spider-Man stuff is one of the like central things that Marvel is doing anymore, hence the 15 different books they have. So I'm sorry that was a long-winded answer, but I don't find myself gravitating towards Marvel anymore. They're doing too many weird shakeups that sometimes even kind of feel like pandering, you know, like, oh, we really need this particular audience, so let's write something that we think will reach them, because whatever. I don't even pretend to understand, like, the payroll department and how they rationalize paying out for work and all that stuff in there. I don't get it at all. You'd think quality work would speak for itself, you know?
The only stuff I get from Marvel is the Star Wars and Rocket and Groot, of course, because 2 of my favorite characters from Marvel. And then I have been reading the Invincible Iron Man, but I mean, I'm getting so lost now with the Civil War stuff going on. I'm not all into that like a lot of people are, and I'm just kind of getting snippets of story that kind of don't correlate with each other.
Yep.
It's kind of hard when they do that stuff, especially this early on in the renumbering.
Yeah.
Like, they're only at Iron Man number, 12 or something like that? 8?
Yeah, like, I think we're on like 9 or 10, something like that. It is that is one of the things that Marvel has done since as far back as I can remember, is they come up with these giant storylines that they have to encompass multiple series with, and it fucks up the storyline. You know, it's like, were you reading comics back in the early 90s, like 93, 94?
No.
Okay. I was, and that was when they were doing the Clone Saga for Spider-Man, which, if anybody's curious about that, literally just Google Clone Saga Spider-Man. You'll get everything you need out of that. They bounced the main storyline for that timeline around through like 4 or 5 different Spider-Man books, and the numbers never correlated on the cover. So it was, you know, it'd be like Amazing Spider-Man number 295 is, all right, this is the current issue, and then you get to the last page, and it's like, look for the continuation of this story in Sensational Spider-Man number 152, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't even keep this straight if you're gonna fuck up the numbering on the cover. It's like I'm gonna have to make a lot of notes. This is, I can't put them in the same box with each other either because they're 2 different series. You know, they did a lot of weird branching out shit, and it just seems to be getting worse anymore. Like, the start of the whole Spider-Man thing they're doing now, they had that branched across every Spider book they had, so it was like 20 different series that made use of a cataclysmic event thing that was going on, which of course didn't matter, because it's Marvel. And I don't know where they go with that stuff anymore, I really don't. It's just weird. I mean, I get that they want to include all their popular franchises in a storyline, but sometimes it just seems superfluous. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
There's really no reason to drag Spider-Gwen into the apocalyptic situation that's going on. You know, Spider-Gwen's a new character, has no real grounding for being a true hero kind of thing, and yet they probably would bring her in if something happened. It's like, oh my god, we need help. Who do we call? Well, there's that Spider-Gwen bitch. You know, the real moody one who's in that Mary Jane's band. Weird pop culture bullshit. So we need to get back on track. We've gone way off course here. Rebirth. Rebirth has left us with a lot of questions, most of which don't really have so much to do with the storylines themselves. It seems more about just the future of DC Comics in general, because this seems very drastic to us. Now, I do have one question for you, Josh. Even though you have been enjoying a lot of the New 52 stuff, can you still look forward to a reset in the timeline?
I guess I'll use one example, which is Batman. Not sure where the Batman regular series is going with. It's picking up from wherever they left off with it before, and I have no clue what the hell it's gonna be. But the Detective Comics thing, I can latch on to. The All-Star Batman thing, I can latch on to. Actually, I forgot the question that you asked me.
Can you latch on to the new to the reset in the timeline, even though you've been enjoying the new stuff? Like, is it going to be a real bittersweet thing for you, or can you just kind of jump from one storyline to the next and feel good about it?
I am going to miss Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo on Batman, but as long as the stories are good, I'm going to be okay with it. As long as I can, follow along a Batman tale. Yeah, that's good.
So as long as it's not detrimental to your favorite characters, like a reset in the timeline and all that is relatively okay with you, we'll say.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting at least. Yeah. Yeah, I should be okay. I mean, unless they really, really screw over Batman, but there is still that All-Star Batman by Scott Snyder coming out, so at least we'll have that, or I'll have that at least. So if they do really royally fuck up the regular Batman series, I'll still have two others, three others to kind of look forward to. At least, and then one, if those start to disappoint me, then who knows where I'll go. I'll just go back to the old comics. Just reread the New 52 over and over again.
That would kind of be a bummer. I feel like I'm pretty sure a lot of the New 52 that they're kind of dropping and resetting on, they haven't really done like a finishing storyline for them, I think.
All the ones I'm reading have been definitive endings.
Have been? Okay. I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah,
I'm like 2 issues behind on the majority of DC stuff I've been reading, and I've been very busy lately. So, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I could latch on to the Flash stuff regardless, but it is making me feel edgy still. It's like I just don't know what they're gonna do with it. Especially since they have set up so many secondary characters and stuff. Like in the New 52 run that's going on, Wally West exists, but it's not the original Wally West. It's if I remember right, it's the Wally West born from a different, like a brother or a sister or something like that, on the West family. Like at some point there were a pair of siblings, and the Wally West that was the original Flash character in the old series came, I think, under the daughter, and the one that's in the New 52 came from the son. So they're kind of like cousins, even though the time is way off for them. Because like the Wally West that's in the New 52, I think is like 15 or something like that, and the Wally West from the other one would be like 25 now. So it's weird. It's weird with the actual time for aging and things like that.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what to make of it. I mean, now this I'm just not aware of in general. Do you know, is there going to be another Rebirth book after this one, or was that literally just the one and only primer title, and then everything else we have to get from the main comics?
Yeah, that was it. It kind of branched off the different
That kind of
stories
sucks.
for everything. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot then that I'm not going to pick up on, I guess, because there's a good chunk of DC stuff that I just was never interested in. Like, spoiler alert, I don't know why she was in there, but Pandora apparently died in the Rebirth book. I I don't know what the hell that had to do with anything, because I had never read the Pandora stuff. Like, I picked up that one trade that I gave to you, and I read like 4 pages of it. I was like, I can't get into this.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, so
Well, at least I read the whole thing.
you
but
more
I don't like
patience
the
than I did,
supernatural
apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just don't know what they're gonna do.
There did seem to be a few pages that were just kind of randomly placed in the book. A lot of the like ending of the chapter stuff was just like, oh, and here's randomly, Batman finding the Watchmen button. It's just seemed random to me.
It's entirely possible.
I don't know what that's gonna do, but
I don't know. This is just one of those time will tell moments, and we thought we'd relay our slight bit of edginess over the whole choice. We'll see what happens. I mean, DC more or less has, in my opinion, done pretty reasonable changes to things in the past. They've shaken up storylines and made changes to characters, but nothing too drastic, in my opinion, which is nice. I don't like it when, like they take one of my favorite characters and then just revamp from head to toe. Like, we'll just leave the name the same, but everything else is different. Costume, attitude, how they approach a situation. I hate it when they redo all of that. It's like, wouldn't it just be weird as shit if Batman showed up on the scene and he just kind of like, fuck it, and ran straight into gunfire? You know what I mean? Like I can do this shit, just running straight at the gunner. That would be really messed up to me. I would be like, this isn't fucking Batman. What the hell?
That's a Ben Affleck.
He who shall not be named. Oh, Affleck, why do you keep trying? Why? Well, I feel like we've gotten enough mileage out of random thought and theory when it comes to the Rebirth thing, because, to be honest, in my opinion, there was almost nothing covered in that book. It was literally, it kind of felt like a premise was presented, and then there was a lot of art. You know what I mean? Like, did you get that vibe at all? Like yeah, really simple story plot device explained on like page 2, and then the rest was
what? Flashy.
Yeah, almost not needed. Oh well. If any other big things pop up in the Rebirth stuff and we get wind of it, we will let you guys know. I feel like this is a pretty reasonable spot to end. We're well within our timeline. So, Josh, I think you should tell them about your channel before we get out of here.
Sure. First, I would like to mention that the Scooby Apocalypse, which I was really on the fence about, the more adult Scooby-Doo thing and futuristic, it's actually really good. Like, I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh, what the fuck, this isn't Scooby-Doo. Well, it's a hell of a lot better than the little kiddie stuff they're putting out nowadays, so I actually enjoyed the first one. Just thought
I looked at it, I saw it on the counter, and I didn't even really want to pick it up. I don't give a shit that it's a more adult-level Scooby-Doo. That has nothing to do with it for me. For me, it's just that there have been about 20 or 30 revamps on Scooby-Doo since I was like 10, and I just can't take any more. So, like, good story or not, I was like, I'm not getting that. No.
The TV show stuff is going way out of whack. I don't know what they're doing with that crap.
Apparently a new series every 10 minutes. Apparently redefining the characters' traits every time. Velma's no longer the smart, nerdy one. Now she's the assertive, smart, sexy one. And Daphne, well, she's turned into a jock, apparently, or something. I don't know. They do something different every time. It's weird.
Well, at least they kept the personalities true to, more true to the original cartoon. Just futuristic. Anyways.
I don't know. That's a small endorsement, I guess. You know, give it a look, see if you've got the extra cash and time. Like I said, I just can't, like, read anything else Scooby-Doo or look at Scooby-Doo anymore. I don't even watch the movies when they come on TV. I'm just like, oh, fucking A, no more Scooby-Doo. What else is on? So, yes, tell them about Jarsh's opinion.
Yeah, my channel's Jarsh's Opinion. I have reviews, gameplay, podcast. Actually, I just redid my podcast once again. So if you want to, you can check that out. It's on the Jarshcast new playlist. I also channel's most known for YouTube haikus. I put one of those out every 2 months. And just random videos that I decided to make. The newest one is a parody video on a different YouTuber, and it's already got about 100 views, and I think it's really stupid, and everyone else does too. So that's something.
It's like, I can predict the trend. Check this out. Very nice. That's Jarsh's Opinion. Go give it a look-see. He's got tons of great content on there. And as for us, well, this is the Rant channel, and you're listening to the Rant podcast. Redundancy aside, we have lots of great stuff on the channel. We have the Versus series that Josh puts together, puts a lot of hard work into that. We have 5-minute game reviews. We have live gameplay streams that we do on Saturdays. We have plenty of back episodes of this podcast you're listening to now. And in the very soon near future, we shall have a couple new series starting up. First of which will be, now this is a working title, so don't laugh at me, the Anime Corner, where we will talk about anime and different genres, and I will make recommendations because I am a big anime dork, and I have been watching that stuff since I was about 12. So I've got a reasonable amount of experience, I'd say. And the other one is going to be our gaming tips series that we're going to put together. We'll show you how to do either dumb or hard stuff, or maybe get some trophies that you're stuck on, and we'll narrate the whole gameplay video for you too. So look forward to those in the future. They should be up in the next couple of weeks, something like that. I think that about covers it. Oh, except for our Twitter feed. Check that out for new episode postings. It's at the Rants TW. What do you think, Josh? Did I get everything?
That about
All
wraps
right,
it
then.
up.
Bye-bye.
With a bow.